This week on In the Field, I'm taking you to Sunset Cliffs. Hi everybody, I'm Scott Davenport and welcome back to another week in the field. A couple of weeks ago I met up with two other photographers, Hudson Henry and Alex Coons, for a sunset shoot down at, aptly named, Sunset Cliffs. And I really liked that area. I hadn't gone there very often, and now I'm in love with it. And I wanted to go down when there were not as many people, and so I went in the morning. Despite the name Sunset Cliffs, at sunrise there's plenty of things to go shoot down there. Great foreground subjects. And so I headed down there. I had the place basically to myself. So let me show you this place on the maps and some footage from the shoot. Here's the map of the San Diego area, San Diego downtown here, and Sunset Cliffs is on the Point Loma Peninsula. And so if I'll zoom in there just a little bit, and let's get our pin on the map. And so right around here, you can see here Sunset Cliffs, the area, and all along this stretch of coast are the cliffs. And there's a really good access point at this space here. I'm there at sunrise, so the sun's coming up over the land. I'm not going to get any sunlight on the cliff faces. They're facing in the shade. This was much more about early morning, calm, quiet type of shoot. Let's go over here on the maps. So again, here we have the San Diego area, San Diego downtown. Here's the peninsula. And if we zoom in here, okay, this little point, I think it's called Bleakley Point. And farther down, right at this spot, is where our access point is. And we'll wait for the map to freshen up there. There we go. So you can see this little winding stairway. And then in the lower tides, all of these rocks get revealed. And at high tide, this gets all filled in. So it is not the place to stay once the tide has come up. And so you can see, if you come down to this base, there's a sea cave here, and you can walk along these areas. And there's lots of different, interesting subjects to shoot. I'm at the base of Sunset Cliffs. It's about a half hour before sunrise. There's plenty of ambient light at this point. The moon is nearly full, and I'm set up taking some shots here. I'm at f11. I'm using manual mode right now because I'm playing with some long exposures. So I'm using the bulb mode so I can decide how long I want to take it, and just using the timer on my smartphone so I can decide how long to keep the shutter open. And I'm using this little bundle of rocks here in the front as my foreground element. I've moved a little closer to the incoming tide to get a little more swirls in the water. Still set up at f11. I have switched over to aperture priority mode because there's enough light now that the camera is doing a pretty good job metering things. Let's grab a few more shots. I found this nice group of rocks that kind of lead out into the frame, and so I've changed up to another lens. I have a variable neutral density filter on the front to let me drag the shutter a little bit longer since it's quite bright out now. I'll show you how that works through the camera. So I have the filter on the front, and it just rotates to change the amount of light that's allowed in or out. And so I'll open it up to allow the most light in to get the focus done. And then once that's done, rotate the ring so that it will close over and shut out more of the light. Definitely shooting in manual mode for this so I can control how long the shutter is going to go for. Somewhere going to be between 5 and 6 seconds. So I had a really good time on this shoot. There were lots of interesting rocks to shoot, great formations. I knew going in that the sky was going to be very boring. The weather was clear, and it certainly was. There was not much at all happening in the sky. And because of that, the image in my head I had going out there were subject shots, the close rocks, or maybe even abstract, just the ocean itself. And I came away with exactly those types of shots. And one in particular I was very happy with is this one here. I just like the way that the water's swirling around the rocks, and compositionally, I just found it very pleasing. And I took it in terms of processing, really not about color. It's really about shape and form. And so I guess that's the tip of the week. You
use the weather conditions to help you plan, and you might pre-visualize what you're after. Every landscape or seascape shot doesn't have to be this grandiose, massive expanse of blasting color. It can be in more intimate shots. It can be abstract, of just waves or ocean. So keep that in mind as you go out for a shoot. You don't always have to come away with the huge landscape. You can come away with something a lot more intimate. That is it for this week. Hope you enjoyed it and took away a few tips that you can use on your next outing. I'll be back again soon with another In the Field episode. In the meantime, tell me what you like, comments, look me up on social media, share it with a friend. Love to hear from you, and I'll be back again soon. Thanks.